What's up everybody, I'm Retro Yugioh, welcome back to the channel, and today I've got for you my first place Traptrix deck list. I know I've done other ones, but this is more of an update post AGOV format, so let's get into it everybody. So I'll start with the main deck. The main deck is 40 cards. Same principle of engine. We're going with 2 Dionea, 2 Arachnicampa. Again, these are not starters, these are more extenders when you already have combo, so therefore you don't really want to play more than 2 of them. You do want to have more than 1 though for follow-up, especially with the Dionea. Campa, sometimes you can side out 1 copy, but for the most part 2 is fine. Then we played 3 copies of the Pudica. When it's normal summoned, it searches you the field spell. When it's special summoned, it targets a special summoned monster your opponent controls and banishes it. And then during the next standby phase, your opponent can special summon back one of those monsters. Or one monster, any. It doesn't have to be the same one. But it's good because it's an interruption and it's not once per turn. Then we play 3 copies of Murmillo, which is pretty standard. 3 copies of Mantis, still standard. And then I still like to play 3 copies of Parallel Exceed. I think this is a really good starter turn card just to get to your combo. I chose this over Fenrir's because Fenrir kind of plays into the Nibiru lines, where this can give you combo through Nibiru. Also, if you're kind of lacking a bit of playthrough, this also just gets you that. This plus Sarah with the extra deck search can get you full extenders. So that's another thing there. So that's it for the engine monsters. Set those over the side. For non-monsters, we played 1 Traptrix Garden. I hate drawing this card. You only want to search it. It is terrible to draw it. It just doesn't do anything unless it's got other cards. But yeah. And then the only reason the deck is good, 3 copies of Holutea. Yeah, it's like Shade Brigandine, just special summons itself as a monster, but also have a grave effect. You can banish from grave to quick effect. Target a Traptrix monster in the graveyard and special summon it back. It's actually quite useful. My deck is a little bit different than most. I played 2 Gravedigger Trap Hole and 2 Floodgate Trap Hole. I believe these are the best 2. Floodgate's the best, and then Gravedigger's the next best because it stops hand traps and burns 2000. Really important, helps you like grind out and win in time if need be. But Bottomless, it's not really that great right now. A lot of the decks don't really care about it, and it does destroy, so it triggers the Unchained cards. But yeah, Floodgate's like the best one because it just sets them face down. But I don't ever think Traptrix, Trap Hole Nightmare comes up enough to warrant being useful. I've played the deck for many months, and I think I had that Trap Hole Nightmare came up maybe a handful of times across like 3 to 4 months. So I don't think it's necessary. I just stick with these 2, and you can easily side them out when you go second. So that's it for the engine. For the non-engine, we play 3 copies of Prosperity, and we've got them in these lovely quarter-century secret rares. So that's nice. Prosperity, just almost every deck is using them. It's just probably going to get hit to 1, but while it's available, it just adds consistency, so we're playing 3 of them. For the hand traps, we're then playing 3 copies of Shifter. Yes, this is a Shifter deck because Shifter doesn't really affect this deck, but yet it affects a lot of the other decks and what they can do. Mainly Tearlaments. Tearlaments is a very difficult matchup for this deck, and Shifter just completely shuts that deck down. We're also using 3 Ash Blossoms. Probably not much said about this. It's the best hand trap. It's the most universal against everything. I chose to play Nibiru next. And Nibiru, there's a reason to that. And the logic behind playing Nibiru over, say, Droll or Valor or any other hand trap is that Nibiru still works under Shifter. So if you activate Shifter, you can still use the Nibiru in the same turn. Whereas if it's Valor or Droll, you can't use those cards because they specifically say send to the graveyard. And no surprise, 3 Infinite Impermanence. It's a normal trap, so going first, you can also use it with Holutea. That's quite relevant, remember that. And then for the final card, I didn't know what to put in because the deck's already 39 cards. So I just put in the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster to make sure when I go second, I can at least break back row going second. So that's it for the main. Main is 40 cards. We'll go to the extra deck now. So for the extra deck, we'll start with the Traptrix monsters. We have 1 copy of Rafflesia. Originally, I was playing 2, but you never really need to make a second one. You just will usually win the game before then. But yeah, even under Shifter, this does not work because it says specifically send to grave. So under Shifter, you don't make this. Alameris, there's cool combo lines you can do with this card. I'll never forget the time where I Dark Rulered my opponent. Used Alameris for 3 materials, detach 2, special summon back Pudica, target Red Eyes Dark Dragoon to banish it, and then use this secret hidden effect of Alameris to detach one material when a monster your opponent controls is banished and special summon it back to your field. That was really cool. I love doing that. People don't really know that actually is a thing. And then Penguicula, because it's the rotor search option, so yeah. And also when a monster is sent by sent to the grave or banished by card effect of your opponent, you can put it under here as material once per turn. Fun fact, Shifter is a card effect, so if a card is banished, if a monster is banished from the field because of Shifter, it counts as being a card effect, so you can attach it to this as with Penguicula, or even special summon it back with Alameris. So keep that in mind. If you're playing Traptrix with Shifter, these two have great synergy on that way. Then for the non-Traptrix and the more generic toolbox stuff, we play one Dweller for Tearlaments. I can't stress this enough, Tearlaments is a very difficult matchup. If they get going, Dweller beats them. It's also pretty good versus Unchained. We play one Baguska. I'm finding it less and less relevant and impactful to make Baguska, but nevertheless it's still here because it does beat decks like Mannadium if they don't have the specific outs. Redoer, this is a great card. I love Redoer. I make it almost all the time under Shifter because you make this with a trap and it gets the trap effect as well. So very useful. And then we play the one Typhon and the one Zeus. These are just generically really powerful. I think Typhon's going to be a staple now in the action deck, and Zeus is just Zeus. Typhon came up once, I think, but other than that, not. It came up against the Red Dragon Archfiend deck, just because that deck does make a lot of high attack point monsters and special, but other than that, I didn't really play anything that was relevant, but still wouldn't play a deck without Typhon. For the links, we do 3 Sarah, pretty standard, and then 1 Adipus. This is like your better version of Access Code for this deck specifically. It just puts more damage on board and more pressure on your opponent. Very easy to make. That's it for the archetype ones. And then for the generic links, we play 1 Little Knight. It's a staple in every deck right now. Not much to say, just play it. 1 Nightmare Unicorn. So I know that people are saying, oh, Little Knight's like a better replacement for this, but Little Knight doesn't let you attack the turn you use it. So fun story, I used Nightmare Unicorn to spin back a set Purple Poison Magician versus Pendulum. If it was SP Little Knight, I couldn't attack directly, but because Unicorn outs it without destruction, I'm then able to swing in for game. And finally, Underworld Goddess, because it beats Pearly, and I do not want to be stuck looking at a big Noir. For the side deck, we have 3 copies of Droll and 3 copies of Effect Veiler. Again, didn't want to main them because of Shifter, but when we need to main them in the specific matchups, like say versus Rescue Ace, we need to stop the Turbulence from resolving, or against Mannadium, where you need to stop them after adding. Droll and Veiler come up. When they come up, they're relevant. So post side, we can have anywhere from 12 hand traps all the way up to 18 if need be. Then for the other parts of the deck, we played 3 copies of Dimensional Barrier for when we go first. We can just flip this up and call the appropriate type and hopefully just be able to win the game there. So it only comes up with the relevant matchups. And then we have 3 copies of Evenly Matched. There's more board breakers when hand traps aren't good enough. And finally, 3 copies of Solemn Judgment to just kind of fortify our board when we go first turn 1, so that we just don't get blown out by some stuff like the Evenly Matched in itself. But yeah, guys, that's the list. It is 40 card main deck, 15-15. Not really much to say, but hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Remember to like and subscribe. Peace. Bye.